Flip it. Check, check. How's everyone doing out there? Just 1 second. Bam. Bam. There we go. What is up, everybody? The champion, how's it going? First timer, Mikey. Who else we got here? Scarlett. Second time today. Sparks. Noka. Christofferson. Submitted. How's everyone doing? Are there any last minute submissions in the pipeline? Yeah, we got another flipper fun today. I'm not really sure if we had a topic. There's discussion of it. I didn't really confirm anything. I'm not sure how people interpreted whether there was rules or not, but we'll see. I think we have some juggles though, from what I saw, which is nice. I always like to hear some juggles internally. How are you doing, Mr. Lizard? Another submitter. Yeah, we only got 3 today, but that's all good. Seemed like a juggle week. That's what I wanted, but yeah, basically the 2 suggestions that were mentioned were juggling and electro scratching. So, but yeah, I don't know if I necessarily confirmed anything. But yeah, we got 3 entries. Let me do one last minute check, just to be sure. Yeah, I think that's all we got. Oh, Gary's got one in the pipeline. That's what I like to hear. Okay, well, is it? Oh, it's uploading now. Okay, I'll give it a minute. The time zone messed you up. Oh, right. Wait, is it happening earlier than usual for you now, or because somebody else messaged me about the time change or something? Europe had a time change. Is that how it goes? Dang. So yeah, maybe we're missing out on a few people because they lost an hour. The typical stragglers. Well, hopefully people get in before the stream is over. Let's see. Yeah, we have Christofferson, we have Lizard, we have Clint, we have Gary, and this is our last FOFU for a couple weeks at least. We'll have masterclass tomorrow, but then no streams for 2 full weeks, potentially 3 full weeks, because I am hitting the road. I have a couple things in the United States of America, so yeah, I won't be able to stream likely. I mean, if there's some off chance the internet's good somewhere and there's a setup maybe, but yeah. Code P, yep. I'm heading in your direction. Better be ready for the scratch session. Oh man, I should talk to High Noon. We should do a battle there. We should do a battle again. You gotta come with your A game this time. You gotta save the rumple till after the battle. One sec. Do one more little check on, is Gary's video in here? No. Okay. It's all good. We'll start with Christofferson, and then we'll see what's up. Christofferson, I'm gonna be seeing you there too, apparently. Right? Got your costume ready for the costume party? Okay. Getting a pole rocking. Gary says, "Sent, I hope." It came through. Let me just grab it. Okay, it's a big one, so I'll have to I'll load it up after. I'll just start it downloading. Okay, the poll is rocking, and now the Christofferson's gonna be rocking. Let's see what he's got for us. Bam. There we go. What do you guys think? Jump in the poll. We got 3 flips so far. Refresh if you don't see the poll, or go on Twitch if you're on YouTube. In YouTube, you can just write in the comments if you want to. I'll see them. Noka said, "Needs some tightening, but flip." We got 7 flips and 1 fun. The chat seems to like it. The champion says flip. 7 flips, 1 fun. Here, let me throw in Gary's video quick there too. Squish grapes, yeah. Code P, the coiner of that expression, is in the chat right now. Damn, internally given the double-edged compliment. One of her favorites, but that was aight. Where's your entry internally? Where's your beat juggle? We have 88% flips on this one. Yeah, this is all good. I like to switch up with the snare. I would say Um, if you can, try to mix up like how you're dropping the tracks for like your backspinning and setup patterns. So basically, like dropping it on the one and playing for like 4 beats, and then dropping on the one and playing for 4 beats. That's like probably the most kind of vanilla way that you can do like an intro setup pattern. Um, Two things that you can do to switch things up is you can you can um, you can drop the beat in different places. So instead of just dropping it on the one, like mess with dropping it on the four or looping on the four, or even the and four, or sorry, the and one, like before the one, the like upbeat, stuff like that. You can mess with putting in different places on both records, so it doesn't have to start in the same place on each side. Um, and then the other thing is playing it for different amounts. Like it's always good to experiment with like being sort of asymmetrical with your patterns, where like you're not just doing like the same thing and then mirroring it on the other side. Um, so if you do 4 beats on the left and 4 beats on the right, that's like symmetrical. But you could do like, let me see, 2.5 beats on one side and 1.5 on the other, or vice versa. Like, or I guess usually the common thing would be to drop the second side a little early, and then and then do more stuff with it, like add a baby scratch or stabs or something to put it back on time. So yeah, dropping stuff off beat and then putting it back on is always a good variation. Um, the switch from single time to triplets was cool. Let me see. There's something could be a little smoother. Um, I guess what um I guess what I'm hearing is the loop that you go into is um is it's a little bit interesting. I'd say like the so when you're looping it faster here, like was it like 1 beat per side? And then you go into like almost a different time signature here. Like it's like it's almost like a 6/8 time kind of loop at that part, which is it's something you can do for sure. But then you go into like a typical halftime swing kind of thing. So I think actually like the if you're looking for sort of a like a intermediate pattern between your looping and your breakdown pattern, usually you want something that is the rhythm of the breakdown pattern, like you're sort of foreshadowing it. So you'd actually want like a swung loop. Um, um, Let me demonstrate this, because this is a little bit tough to just talk about. So let me just let me pull her up on the turntables. There. Okay. Okay, so yeah. I'll demonstrate the other thing I was talking about too. Impromptu masterclass. That's right. We've only got a few entries, so why not? Okay, first thing, taking it back. So when you're doing your trick mixing patterns in the intro, doing that kind of thing, like looping in the same spot. Um, so a couple ways you can mix it up. So looping it in a different spot. That kind of stuff, dropping in just like I'm using the notes before the one. Um, um, yeah, dropping in different spots, different spot on both sides. So, using two different, using the kick here and the snare there, very simple way to do it. Another thing is making asymmetrical patterns. This is like, I'll show you like the most basic one. This is the one I point this out whenever I see it in juggles because it's sort of like like your sort of the first like kind of real or first set of pattern that people learn that is sort of breaking away from being like symmetrical. But it's a good one to throw in if you are doing more symmetrical stuff. But this is like one of the first ways to sort of break out of that habit. So basically, I'm dropping this side early. So I'm dropping it on the one and instead of on the two. So instead of going, I'm dropping this one early. And then you just have to do something on the left to put it back on beat. So right there, I demonstrated two different taps. There's a baby, a double baby. On those are all on the hi-hat. You can also do it on the snare. Yeah, working start stops. Why is that side not stopping? Maybe just my timing. I need to dial in the start stop on these. But yeah, adding the breaks in. Yeah, there's all sorts of stuff you can do. And mix and match all those ideas. And then the intermediate pattern. So basically, you're going from the one beat loop to a breakdown. So this is sort of okay, this is what you did, firstly. Sorry, like this. Yeah, let me try that again. So you switched it to basically a 3-4-6-8 type of thing, boom, like a triplet like that, which let me see. If you're going into like a 6-8 3-3-4 type of pattern, like if you're going into that, then using that as sort of a intermediate pattern works. But if you're going into like a swing pattern, if you're going into that, then the intermediate pattern would be something like this. Does that make sense? So it's like, since you're going into a swing pattern, you do a swing rhythm. So yeah, you can still let me see. You went into yeah, so you would want, instead of going into this, you would go into this. Feel the difference? So instead of boom ta ta boom ta ta boom ta ta, instead of waltzing it, we want to swing it. Boom ta 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 ta. So waltz. Swing. There you go. So you want to swing it before you swing into the rhythm. Because listen, I'll show you the two differences. Doesn't really, the waltz to swing doesn't really flow, but if we do. That flows. So there you go. Impromptu masterclass. But yeah, we typically, in beat juggling, we typically don't really do many waltz types of juggles or 6-8 or 3-4. I've spoke about this before. It's definitely doable, and it's definitely has some, I think, some potential and stuff like that, but it's not very common, and it's hard to do well. Yeah, but usually it's just, yeah, so you can mess with that idea, but in terms of like composition of a juggle, your transition is usually, you want it to be a bridge between your intro and normal beat and your breakdown rhythm. So you want the you want your transition pattern to usually foreshadow the rhythm that your breakdown is about to be. So yeah, so swing it so that people are like, oh, there's a swing pattern coming, and yeah, swing it, don't waltz it. Yeah, for the breakdown. Yeah, so basically, the pattern is fine. Um, could be a little cleaner on the right side, like with the notes that you're hitting. Like your pullbacks are a little loose. Let me just see. Yeah, this is a bigger technique thing. Your your hand is ending up on the opposite side of the record. So make sure you grab it higher on the record. Like you can lean too, like lean over towards the record if you need to find a more comfortable position. But you want to make sure that your hand is not facing. You never want your hand to go and face the wrong direction on the turntable. You never want this. You always want like this is like your maximum. Um, yeah, but this is like right there. You're doing about like a third or a third and a bit of a rotation. So you should be able to like just in one kind of swoop without going the opposite way. I can do like about half of the rotation of the record from top to bottom. Um, yeah, and yeah, sometimes where your body position is can help you get a little bit more out of that. Um, that one was good. Yeah. But that is like so. There's a little looseness in your tapping, but part of it is because you're having to release and tap over here. Like you're doing this kind of thing. You're doing a hop. Let me just pull it back. Right there. You went hop, pull back, hop, and you're like, so your hand is like having to jump across the record rather than pull back and then pause, pull back, pause. That's a lot more efficient of a movement than pull back, hop, and so some of your squish scrape sound in the tap is just because your hand positioning. So yeah, pay attention to that. Usually, like, um, for a lot of people who are more scratch oriented getting into juggling, sometimes it's basically like um you're used to like having your hand in this position all the time, like in your home base. And with beat juggling, when you're back spinning, you want to think about not grabbing in your home base and then pulling it back. You want to think about grabbing it and pulling it back to your home base. So you want to grab it somewhere else and pull it back to where you need it to be, rather than grab it here and pull it back. So yeah. Um, and sometimes it just takes like, a bit of practice and focus um, to dial in like where to grab it and how to grab it. But yeah, grabbing it like up closer towards the top is gonna be a little better. But yeah, overall the structure was good. I like how it was like intro. There's a bit of a transition, a breakdown. It felt like a full beat juggle. Um, yeah. So the next step is get the feedback in there and some variations in the breakdown. Like the breakdown, I would say the breakdown is like it's sort of the main point of a juggle. So you want it to be like probably 50% of the juggle. So, expanding on the breakdown, trying to get twice as many patterns in there, something, variations, that kind of thing. But yeah, um, overall though, good. Like I don't think I've seen Christofferson's juggles for a while, but I don't remember seeing a breakdown before. So might be a new Christofferson highlight, a new peak for Christofferson. So yeah, good stuff. Um, now we have the man, the myth, the legend, Wiki Lizzie. Flip, fun, because they also. Um, no, I remember you. Submitting juggles before, but I forget. Yeah, I forget if you did like a breakdown in them or is more. I kind of remember some more trick mixing types of ones, but yeah. Anyways, good stuff, good progress. Let's see what Lizard's got. The wickedest lizard. Let's see. What do you guys think? Drop some votes in the poll. That's a tough beat to juggle, Lizard. That's a tough beat selection. 9 funds so far. Get your votes in the poll. Refresh if you don't see it, or go to Twitch. Yeah, it's a crunchy track. That's a crunchy track. Cutley, when is Flipper Fun? Is Sundays at 5 p.m. Eastern. But not for the next 2 weeks. I just said I'm away. Got some shows and stuff. So I will be out of the country. We got 10 funds. Private Party said, poor selection, flip. Okay, one thing is, there's one thing. Okay, right here. You put in like a tap or something in a real-time pattern. Not something you typically do. Watch out for that. Yeah, yeah, so the beat this is a terrible beat to beat juggle. I'm gonna be honest with you. It's like essentially for a beat juggle selection, it's like you want to try and pick a track that you can isolate notes and rearrange notes and there's separation and stuff. This one sounds like it's just like a brick walled distortion of a track. So like there you can definitely juggle like more like glitchy electronic stuff. But I'd be looking more in the direction of like like some glitch hop, like K-Lab, Sticky Bud Slink types of tracks, rather than what this track. Yeah, so that's the definitely the track selection. You know, you can use stuff you like, but it's picking a juggle track is not easy. You can't just you can't juggle everything. Not everything sounds good. If actually there's a stream not too long ago, like I was just freestyling, I think. Somebody asked me to juggle drum and bass. I tried a bunch of tracks and I couldn't find anything that was good to juggle, but there definitely is drum and bass tracks that are good to juggle, but I just couldn't find any. And it was just an example of it takes a lot of digging to find good tracks. But um, yeah, picking genres where there's separation and and spacing between notes is key. Yeah. Because on this, honestly, I see your fader moving, but there's no tripling sounding. There's like basically, yeah, I can't hear it doing anything. You know, so it's always important to make sure. That's I guess another takeaway is every track is different. Like what patterns you can do or what patterns sound good. If you just like move the fader, but you're not hearing like doubling notes or tripling notes or anything like that. If it's just like when you're moving the fader here, like right there, that last part, it sounds it doesn't. I can't tell the difference if you're moving the fader or not moving it at all, and that's not a good sign. It's not a testament of your technique. It's just like the track. Like if there's a bass note and you're just moving it back and forth in 16th notes, there's no like rhythm or anything. But yeah. So biggest takeaway, new track. New track, Lizard. You gotta find you gotta find some stuff in your library that is more juggle friendly if you're going to do a juggle with it. Well, what can I say? If you need more inspiration, watch classic routines. That's a big one for anybody. Like to make good beat jugglers, to make good beat juggles, you have to watch a lot of good beat jugglers. So yeah, sometimes I think people like this is more common than I'd like to think, but there's a lot of people who um who want to learn how to beat juggle or they try to learn how to beat juggle and I'll be like, "Oh, like what's your favorite juggle or what's your top 5 juggles?" And their answer will be like, "Oh, like this one I saw on Instagram a few weeks ago and this video of somebody like trick mixing at a live show." Like basically they don't know any juggles, you know? They don't know any juggles, they don't know any classics. So you have to study you have to study and yeah, you have to actually you have to love beat juggling if you want to be good at it. And part of that is knowing the history, knowing the good juggles, that kind of thing. So that's important. You know, find stuff that you're inspired by in history, and then yeah, it's always good to start early in the history too. My recommendation always is to try and work through history and always think about like whether you can do stuff. Um, like basically watch like say the 90 I don't know 90 you could go back to like 91 or 92 watch the US finals and then make sure like that you can do everything that's in there. If there's stuff that happened how many years ago now, 33 years ago, if something happened 33 years ago and you can't do it today and they're doing it on like you know the dustiest old piece of trash mixers and everything, if they're doing it back then and you can't do it now, then that's a good sign of something you should work on. Yeah, and with beat juggling too, a lot of like the sort of technique, like evolution, and what's like the easiest techniques, like it kind of built in chronological order. Scratching is a little bit less so. Like scratching kind of jumped around. Like the OG flare came before the one-click flare. That's an example where the harder thing was invented first. But with juggling, it's pretty. is pretty chronological. So yeah, you'd fall asleep attempting the basics. Well, um, I can't help you there. You need fundamentals for every instrument. Somebody's like, I don't want to practice my scales on whatever given instrument. It's saying you might as well just say I don't want to be good or I don't want to get better. My top three beat juggles. Oh man, it's too hard to narrow down three. Um, I would say so for like inspirational, like sort of basic, um, basic juggles that for breakdown stuff that everyone should know. Um, the first one is Babu's Blind Alley. Yeah, and it went in the chat. That one's sort of the gold standard of an era of beat juggling where before it like got before it got sort of more advanced and stuff. It was like, yeah, it's sort of the bridge between the very old school juggles and the new school ones. I'd say new school Blind Alley is like new school composition with old school techniques. So Babu Blind Alley, Rob Swift Biz Routine is like one of the first examples of, I would say, like proper juggle composition that wasn't like freestyled and stuff. Has a very like clear like beginning, middle, end, like intro, breakdown, that kind of stuff. And then the other one is Mr. Sinister theme from SWAT. He does a bunch of versions of it, but I'd say the U.S. finals version or my favorite version, I think, is Table Turns. Um, and yeah, Mr. Sinister theme from SWAT. That's sort of the blueprint. I always think of it as like the blueprint for a juggle because like sort of with Sinister stuff, sort of ignore the body tricks. Like not ignore them, but like he has sections where he just loops really fast and does body tricks. That's not like to me. That's sort of like just an intro, and that was something that was like part of their style at the time. But when you're learning it now, like don't worry about the body tricks. Worry about like the construction of the juggle. And Mrs. Sinister had some of the best composition of juggles. Honestly, Mr. Sinister, if you just look up like showcases from him, try to find ones from like the early 2000s, and he has so many good juggles that are really good to study. Damn, we got a hype train for no reason. Thank you, Gary. Thank you, Lamp Shady. Let me see. You suffer from ADD. The flop button doesn't care. I don't care. Like, just do it. You can, yeah, it's been done. You can submit blind alley juggles all day. Firstly, I don't believe that. Let's hear some blind alley juggles. But it's been done before. You can't innovate until you can recreate. I've just made that up right now, but I think it's true. You can't really like, you gotta be able to sort of like do the basic stuff, and do fundamentals before you can, make something new. Yeah, it takes a lot of time, but it is what it is. All right. Next up, we got Clinster. Second, just before I drop the poll. Thank you internally. Noka said, "Does brace dual needle drop dead pres hip hop with the fresher than's count? Wait, does it count as what?" Well, look at this lizard. Right now, I just want to hear fundamental routines, not you're getting too you're getting too original. You're getting original to the point where you're reinventing what the what the popular opinion of what sounds good is. You gotta dial it in a little bit, and then yeah, I'll let you know when you can start innovating, or the universe will let you know probably. Okay. Anyways, enough about that. Clint, let's see what he's got for us. Very nice. Oh, what's it? Clint's secret scratches are on the wall. What is that? Wavebon. Oh, nice. Yeah, Wavebon. Oh, that's not how I do the Wavebon actually. What's this one? 9 note. Okay. I can't read the bottom one. That's looks like the most secret one. Um, what's happening with the cam? Yeah, the video needs horizontal. Is getting cut off on the vertical. I think the movement is. I think he's got a videographer. He might have hired one of his kids or something like that. But yeah, we got 100% flips for Mr. Clint. Very nice. Yeah. Okay. So the intro here, I'm gonna give Clint a bit more stricter feedback. So this looping, backspinning, I don't want to hear any of that. Yeah, there's in 2025 we don't need to backspin and loop records for the intros anymore. Yeah, so I would just skip that. Like basically, I think it again in 2025 it's better to just play the record and like trick mix and do stuff like that. Than to loop records. Like that's because like backspinning and looping just to me sounds dated. There's a reason to do it on real vinyl when you're trying to find your place and stuff, but on Serato, I think it's better to find like something more musical. So I would skip that because you go right into this. Yeah, you go into that. I'd like basically play the beat and then just go into your reverse patterns right away. So just cut out the filler. Yeah, I really like this reverse pattern though. That's a very nice like setup pattern. And this is being super picky, but so you play like basically after your reverse pattern, you play the beat for 4 beats and then go into the transition. That's sort of a like you've I'm sure heard me talk about loose beats and loose bars before, where it's sort of like an extra like beat or an extra bar that doesn't really have a place. Like it's sort of in the middle of something. That's I would consider that like a loose bar where basically you have your reverse pattern like setup patterns that are like exactly 4 bars, and then you have your transition, your breakdown. Um, but then there's this extra like 4 beats of the beat playing for no reason. So cut that out. No loose bars. Just go directly from the reverse patterns to the transition. I know sometimes it's hard because it might not be on the correct side or whatever, but you can always figure out ways during your transition to get it where you need to be. Nice. Yeah, cool variations with the tapping, the up fader, the little scratch back. Um, he's there you go internally. um, yeah, basically, yeah, doing all the little variations. But I like how the breakdown starts and ends on the same side as well. It's kind of interesting. Getting some cool patterns of that because sort of typically it kind of you start on one side and you end the pattern on the other, but he's starting the pattern and ending it on the same side. So yeah, good stuff, Clint. Um, yeah, always like to see Clint's reverse patterns, and yeah, Clint's always got some very creative, unique patterns. Like even these patterns at the end, even though they're like halftime swing types of patterns, they're a little bit different than what you typically see. So yeah. There's Clint injecting a little bit of creativity onto the fundamentals. There's a good reference for you, Lizard. Um, and then we have Gary who absolutely broke the rules. He went here. I'm just gonna take the turntables off. I'm not using them. Um, he did a scratch video instead of a juggle. But no, I said this at the beginning. I didn't really like confirm like what the theme was. It's just somebody suggested maybe juggling, and I was kind of on the fence. But depends, or it turns out that at least 3 people went with juggling. I do like to see the juggles. The only reason why I don't in the off season I don't usually mandate juggles is I just feel like, well, this week's kind of an example, but less people enter when you have to juggle, because I think juggling is just harder, and more people scratch than juggle. So if I make it like a forced juggle week in an off season, then we just don't get as many people. During flip or flop, we get a lot because there's points up for grabs. But yeah. So, anyways, not actually breaking the rules. Let's see what Gary's got. Is a scratch video. I forget if there's anything else behind it, if it's a routine or a freestyle, but let's see what he's got for us. Nice. I like this. What do you guys think, Paul? Chat. Um, yeah, I see and hear something. Like Gary was asking, I briefly went over some ideas for swinging vocal cuts, but now I hear something different. I wasn't really even considering this, but I really like it. I really like the when you hit the break like that, the pushing, yeah, the so you basically like the vocals are like beat matched slower. Okay, you went 70 to 90. That's interesting too. I think um I think that you probably want to beat match it to 60. Like 2/3 of the tempo is probably where it might work a little better, but I don't know. Maybe yeah. um yeah, regardless, like you're the pushing into it really works. I like that. Yeah, all swung, very nice. Yeah, and this low file beat is a really I've been using this a lot for like swung stuff. Yeah, that's a very cool when you hit the break. That's a cool good record control. Yeah, very nice. Cool. I like all this swing stuff. The waves could be a little cleaner. You're going for pretty fast ones there. Um, just a second. You're going whoa. Just a second. Here. Okay, I'll get back on the turntables for a sec. And I'll grab a scratch record. So you're going for let me see if I can figure out the sort of an easier, cleaner way to do what you're going for. Yeah, you're going like yeah, I think you're trying to double wave on the back of the chirp there, that's really hard. Okay, the ways that I would work waves into these triplet types of rhythms is so doing it instead of the chirp on the one click or chirp flare, or yeah, I was trying it with the into a chirp too. No, that's cool. The chirp or the wave into one click is good, or There's some other options too. But yeah, essentially doing. Man, there's no easy way to do it though. All of those are all of those are hard. I was hoping that there's a more like a more slow variation. I guess the other one would be like a just like a 1-4-2 back with triplets like that. And yeah, I know the camera's not on, but um um with triplet forward waves back. Oh, 2 clicks forward, waves back. Yes. Yes, but well, okay, here's a sort of strange thing. This is something that you might have a different way of doing it. Some people do that will enable this, but basically for me, whenever I do waves, it's even numbers, so I never really do 3 notes of a wave back. So like a triplet wave going back doesn't really work. It has to be 6 notes for me because it's basically a wave. Like every wave pattern I do is either 2, 4, or 6 notes because the wave is a 2-note technique. But it is possible to do 3-note waves and odd numbers and stuff, but that's even harder. Yeah. But definitely, yeah, explore it, see if you can do it. Basically, essentially, sorry. To do like an odd number or 3-note wave, your hand position has to start up and end down, or start down and end up. It has to do has to alternate. But then, yeah, it's really tricky to work that in. Anyways, oops. I'll mute my beat. And then yeah, actually the like a lot of the patterns you're doing right here, you can put the waves like on the 1 click itself like I was doing. It's a little bit tricky, but try to do the forward wave. The forward wave is faster and flows better than the reverse wave in these types of techniques, in my experience. Yeah, these scribbles that you're doing, you can do a wave instead of those, but those scribbles sound nice, so maybe don't do it all the time. Nice. Yeah, super good flow. Love the swing, love the triplets. Good stuff, Gary. Yeah, so let me just double check, but I think that's all we got. No stragglers. So we got 4 entries today. Let's do a little poll. Who's this week's champ? We have Christofferson, Wickedest Lizard, Clint, Gary. Get the poll. Do a quick recap. So that we had Christofferson with the juggle. Then we had Wickedest Lizard with the juggle. Bass boosted, RIP headphone users. Then we had Clint. And then we had Gary. When you break it down, what do you guys think? What was your favorite? of this week? um, Getting the poll. If you're on YouTube, oh, I haven't checked YouTube chat in a sec. Wonderful TV, what's up? Sorry, sometimes when I'm doing polls, sometimes I look at the Twitch chat too much. Word Kenneth, Noka. We got a few on YouTube. Yeah, where's Trollbot's submission? Private Party says Gary's the champion. Well, then vote in the poll. Make sure you let it be known. We got votes in 3 different people right now. 10 seconds left to vote. Get it in. Someday. Well, you have like probably 3 weeks until the next one, so lots of time to prepare. Troll and internally you can submit in 3 weeks. The chat likes Gary. The chat was feeling Gary this week. 60%. Let's see. So okay, Lizard, I gotta let you go, for the reasons I said. Gotta rein it in, select them tracks a little better. Christopherson, good progress, letting you go. Let me rewatch these last 2. Yeah, I think that was really solid. Nice. Yeah, that was really good too. This is always tough to judge. Judging scratching versus juggling is very, very difficult. It's one of the most difficult things to do when judging. But you gotta do it as a judge a lot of times. And yeah, usually when I'm judging scratching versus juggling, this will be like a bit of a learning thing. But essentially, I think because they're definitely apples and oranges, and realistically, I think like, there's a good chance it should be sort of a joint champion. But hear me out. Something I like to think about is like just the sort of the field of scratching and the field of juggling. Like basically think about like all of juggling and how does the juggling stack up, and all of scratching and how does the scratching stack up. Like basically, like a thing that I think about as sort of a thought experiment for these things is like um, in like a typical like local regional DJ battle, like would one person like would their scratching be the best at a local battle, or would it be like, you know, in the middle of the pack or whatever? And how about the beat juggling? Would it be the best or like the middle of the pack, that kind of thing? Um, in terms of a battle, but you can kind of, look at it as just like all of all of history, or however you want to measure it. But essentially, just like judging scratching against just all scratching, and the juggling against all scratch or all juggling, rather than against each other, because it's really hard to just judge two different almost like art forms and techniques. So that's how I try and think of it. Um, yeah, and part of that too is because I think a lot of people kind of in general, I think people sort of lean towards scratching because it's a little bit more accessible, and more people scratch, and they just like it more, essentially. And they're a lot harder on beat juggling. And beat juggling is more difficult in general. So it's like, beat juggling is stuff that is like a little bit more simple. Like the fundamentals for beat juggling, as we know, are a lot harder to get down than or a lot more rare than the fundamentals of scratching. Anyways, so so I think it's really close. I think it's really close. And for this week, I'm gonna give it a Clin. Yeah, and the main reason I'd say, like, well, also I'm thinking about just like Clin and Gary, what I've seen and stuff. I think Gary's definitely onto something. I think that I really like the swung vocal stuff in that. I'd say the awe part, the like middle scratch solo, was definitely not the strongest Gary solo, like with pitching and flow and stuff. But I think I can tell he's sort of like working on getting some really like heavy swung cuts, and some of it's a little bit new, and it's a little bit, it's still like in the it's in the works. um yeah. And then, yeah, basically, something that I mentioned at the beginning, but um Clin, like, even though he is doing a halftime swing rhythm, like right away, like he's like Clin Clint's patterns are quite unique, like these reverse patterns and stuff. Like this is when I'm judging juggling specifically, something I always think about is like, if you gave 100 people like the same beat, like how many people would do this pattern? Let's go this one. How many people are going to do that out of 100? Not very many, I don't think. Maybe only Clin. Maybe, there could be a couple people, like some people, do a lot of reverse stuff, but yeah, um, Clin flipped it like pretty unique. And even the halftime swing. Yeah, I like that one. I would like the transforms to be like a more of a triplet instead of double time there, being picky. But yeah, I was mentioning earlier, I like how it starts and ends on the same side, and he does the push pattern. He's kind of fusing a lot of little different ideas, and even though it's a typical rhythm and style of breakdown, Clin's still finding his own new patterns. So yeah, give it up for Clin. And I've been missing beat juggling in the flipper fun, so I'm happy to see a solid juggle. Would like to see more in the future from you guys. And Gary too. I know Gary's also got juggles as well, but we'll start enforcing it with flipper flop soon. But yeah, anyways, I'm gonna go probably eat. So let's hit a raid. I see someone to raid already. Bam. Jump in the raid. Masterclass tomorrow. Make sure you're in the Discord. Hit me with masterclass ideas. I don't think I have any for tomorrow. It's gonna be the last masterclass for a couple weeks, so make sure that you give me some ideas. What do you want to learn tomorrow for to hold you off for the next couple weeks? Um, Joe Mama YouTube went with the juggler as well. I see that. Thank you, YouTube. Sorry for ignoring the chat sometimes. I gotta figure out how to get it all together better. I'm going to the States. Yeah, I have a couple US gigs. Are you coming internally? Come to Kansas City for DJ Thanksgiving. It's like, yeah. Actually, anybody out there, DJ Thanksgiving in it's like me and Craze and who else? Buck Rogers. Man, it's a crazy lineup. It's like a 10-hour show or something. Starts at like 4 p.m. Yeah, it's definitely a cool. It's crazy last year. Yeah, I was so shocked when I went last year. I was like, how many of these types of shows even happen like in a year? Like people should be flying in for it. Kansas City, that's right. All right. Peace out, guys. See you tomorrow.